Hello and Namaskar. मैं हूं आदित्य जैन and I welcome you to this video series. I have been associated with UPSC for 5 years. I have also mentored students for UPSC and state PSCs as well. So I'll make sure इस वीडियो सीरीज से आपके मार्क्स मैक्सिमाइज हों. Here we'll cover Spectrum Publications Modern India by Rajay Vihar का लेटेस्ट एडिशन. इस बुक को थोरोली रीड करने के साथ इंपॉर्टेंट सेक्शंस हाईलाइट किए जाएंगे और साथ ही यूपीएससी एंड स्टेट पीएससीज में आए हुए क्वेश्चंस भी बताए जाएंगे सो दैट यू नेवर मिस द इंपॉर्टेंट पार्ट. देयर विल बी 50 to 55 लेक्चर्स ऑफ 30 to 35 मिनट्स ईच. अगर आपने ये सीरीज़ 3 से 4 बार देख ली तो ये बुक डेफिनेटली आपके दिमाग में छप जाएगी एंड आपका रिवीजन भी आसान हो जाएगा. तो अगर आपको रिवीजन के साथ साथ वैल्यू एडिशन भी करना है तो ये सीरीज़ पूरी देखें. आपको बस अपने पास ये बुक रखना है और सुन के जो मैं बताऊं वो हाईलाइट करना है. सो विदाउट एनी फर्दर डिले लेट्स गेट स्टार्टेड.
Hello aspirants, welcome to Ghadna Sutra. This is part 3 of chapter 5. We shall continue from where we left. So, first Anglo-Maratha War. Right. Anglo-Maratha War, ये मैं बता चुका हूँ कि वॉर्स कितने इंपॉर्टेंट है. कंटिन्यूसली आपको बताता जा रहा हूँ कि वॉर्स और ट्रीटीज़ कितनी ज़्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट होती हैं यूपीएससी या स्टेट पीएससी के लिए. तो आप याद रखेंगे. फर्स्ट एंग्लो-मराठा वॉर. Background. After the death of Madhav Rao in 1772, his brother Narayan Rao succeeded him as the fifth Peshwa. However, Narayan Rao's uncle Raghunath Rao had his nephews assassinated and named himself as the next Peshwa. Although he was not a legal heir, Narayan Rao's widow Gangabai gave birth to a son after her husband's death. The newborn infant named Savai, 1.5 quarter of Madhav Rao, and he was legally the next Peshwa. 12 Maratha chiefs, Barabhai, led by Nana Fadnavis, made an effort to name the infant as the new Peshwa and rule for him as regents. Treaties of Surat and Purandar. Raghunath Rao, unwilling to give up his position as power, sought help from the English at the Bombay and signed a Treaty of Surat in 1775. किसने ट्रीटी ऑफ सूरत साइन करी? सिर्फ मराठास नहीं, मतलब रघुनाथ राव फ्रॉम मराठा सेक्शन. ठीक है. इस यहाँ पे हमने पढ़ा रघुनाथ राव हैड हिज नेफ्यू असैसिनेटेड, यानी नारायण राव को रघुनाथ राव ने बरवाया और खुद पेशवा बन गए. आगे चल के जो सवाई, जिनको माधव राव की जो सन के हेयर सन थे, उनको पेशवा बनवाना था. इनको नाना फडणवीस और बाकी लोगों को मिलके इनको पेशवा बनवाना था. इसलिए रघुनाथ राव ने रिवोल्ट किया और जाके इंग्लिश से मिल गए और उनके साथ एक ट्रीटी साइन कर ली, ट्रीटी ऑफ सूरत इन 1775. अंडर द ट्रीटी रघुनाथ राव सीडेड द टेरिटरीज ऑफ सालसेत and Basin to the English along with a portion of the revenues from Surat and Bharuch district. In return, English were to provide Raghunath Rao with 2500 soldiers. The British Calcutta Council on the other side of India condemned the Treaty of Surat. British Calcutta Council थी जो उन्होंने condemn किया कि आप अलग से जाके क्यों, and sent Colonel Upton to Pune to annul it and make a new treaty of Purandar. समझ रहे हैं आप? With the regency and renouncing Raghunath Rao and promising him a pension. The Bombay government rejected this and gave a refuge to Raghunath Rao. In 1777, Nana Fadnavis violated his treaty with the Calcutta Council by granting French a port in the west. The English retaliated by sending a force towards Pune. Course of war समझ लेते हैं क्या हुआ है. The English and the Marathas armies met on the outskirts of the Pune. Though the Maratha army had a larger number of soldiers than the English, the latter had higher superior ammunition and cannons. However, the Maratha army was commanded by the brilliant general named Mahatji Scindia. He was also known as Mahatji Shinde. Mahatji lured the English army into the Ghats mountain passes near Talegaon and trapped the English from all sides and attacked the English supply base at Khopali. The Maratha also utilized as scorched earth policy. Scorched earth policy मराठास की थी. ठीक है ना. ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट पॉलिसी है, मतलब इन द सेंस ये एक टैक्टिक है, वॉर पॉलिसी है. बर्निंग फार्मलैंड एंड पॉइजनिंग वेल वाटर. ओके. ऑल द इंग्लिश बिगेन टू विड्रॉ एट तालेगांव. द मराठास अटैक्ड forcing them to retreat to the village at Vadgaon. Here the English army was surrounded on all sides by Marathas and cut off from food and water supplies. The English surrendered. अब देख रहे हैं आप, डिफीट नहीं हुई है, सिर्फ डिफीट नहीं हुई है, सरेंडर ही कर दिया है पूरा. एंड साइंड अ ट्रीटी ऑफ वडगांव. ये बहुत मेजर एक ट्रीटी है. ट्रीटी ऑफ वडगांव में इंग्लिश ने सरेंडर किया हुआ था. ओके. And forced the Bombay government to relinquish all treaty territories acquired by the English since 1775 से लेके पुरानी भी टेरिटरीज ले ली. अब आप समझ रहे हैं कि कितने पावरफुल थे मराठास इन ऑर्गेनाइजेशन. अब देखिए महादजी सिंधिया के अंदर मराठास ने क्या किया हुआ है कि उन फोर्स पहले लग रहा था कि इंग्लिश के अच्छे कैनन्स हैं, बहुत सारी बैलेंस्ड आर्मी है, बहुत डिसिप्लिन्ड है, इनके पास अच्छे आर्म्स हैं। स्टिल मराठास ने क्या किया, क्रॉस पॉलिसी यूज़ करी, है ना। यहाँ पे एक वॉर टैक्टिक्स इस्तेमाल किए, चारों तरफ से इंग्लिश को घेरा और उन पर अटैक किया और लेटर ऑन उनको सरेंडर करने पे मजबूर किया। दिस इज हाउ पावरफुल मराठास वर एट ए टाइम। ट्रीटी ऑफ सालबाई, एंड ऑफ फर्स्ट फेज ऑफ स्ट्रगल। Warren Hastings, the Governor General in Bengal, rejected the Treaty of Vadgaon and sent a large forces of soldiers under Colonel Goddard, who captured Ahmedabad in February 1779 and Basim in 1780. Another Bengal detachment led by the Captain Popham captured Gwalior in August 1780. In February 1781, the English under General Kamek finally defeated Scindia at Sipri. Scindia proposed a new treaty between the Peshwa and the English, the Treaty of Salbai. Was signed in May 1782. It was ratified by Hastings in June 1782 and the Fadnavis in 1783. The treaty guaranteed peace between the two sides for 20 years. ठीक है, Treaty of Salbai में peace between two sides था for 20 years. The main provision of the Treaty of Salbai were Selceat should continue in possession of the English. The whole of the territory conquered since the territory of Purandar, since the Treaty of Purandar, including Basin, should be restored to Marathas. In Gujarat, Fateh Singh Gaikwad should remain in possession of the territories which he had before the war and should serve the Peshwa as before. Fourth point that the English should not offer any further support to Raghunath Rao and the Peshwa should grant him the maintenance allowance. Hyder Ali should return all the territory taken from the English and the Nawab of Erkot. The English should enjoy privileges as a trade as before. The Peshwa should not support any other European nation. The Peshwa and the English should undertake that their several lives should remain at peace with one another. Mahadji Scindia should be the mutual guarantor for the proper observance of the terms of the treaty. महादजी सिंधिया क्यों चुने गए थे इस चीज़ के लिए, क्योंकि ऑफ कोर्स वो एक पावरफुल लीडर थे और उन्होंने इंग्लिश को पहले हरा चुका था। तो इंग्लिश जानते थे कि ये एक पावरफुल, बहुत ज़्यादा पावरफुल रूलर निकल के आएंगे, तो इनको म्यूचुअल गारंटर बना दो। सेकेंड एंग्लो मराठा वॉर्स 1803 से 1805 तक चला। बैकग्राउंड क्या है इस वॉर का? द सेकेंड एंग्लो मराठा वॉर स्टार्टेड इन सर्कमस्टेंसेस सिमिलर टू दोज ऑफ फर्स्ट. After Peshwa Madhavrao Narayan committed suicide in 1795, Bajirao II, the worthless son of Raghunath Rao, became the Peshwa. Nana Fadnavis, a bitter foe of Bajirao II, became the chief minister. And the dissensions among the Marathas provided the English with an opportunity to intervene in the Marathas' affair. The death of Nana Fadnavis in 1800 gave British an added advantage. Course of war क्या था? In April 1, 1801, the Peshwa brutally murdered the brother of Jaswant Rao, also known as Yashwant Rao by some historians, Jaswant Rao Holkar with Vithuji. A furious Jaswant arrayed his brother against the combined armies of Scindia and Bajirao II. The turmoil continued. In October 25, 1802, Jaswant defeated the armies of Peshwas and Scindias decisively at Hadapsar near Pune and placed Vinayak Rao, son of Amrit Rao, on the Peshwa seat. A terrified Bajirao II fled to Basin, where in December 31, 1802, he signed the treaty with the English. Treaty of Basin 1802 wali. Under the treaty, the Peshwa agreed to receive from the company a native infantry consisting of not less than 6,000 troops, with the usual proportion of the field artillery, European artillery men attached to the permanent station, who were permanent stationed in his territories. To cede the company territory yielding income of 26 lakh, to surrender the city of Surat, to give up all his claims of Chauth on the Nizam's dominion, to accept company's arbitration in all differences between him and Nizam or Gaikwad, not to keep in his employment Europeans of any nation at war with the English, and to subject his relation with other states to the control of English. Reduced to vassalage. After the Peshwa accepted the subsidiary alliance, Scindia Bhosle attempted to save Marathas' independence, but the well-prepared and organized army of English under Arthur Wellesley defeated the combined armies of Scindias and Bhosle and forced them to conclude separate subsidiary treaties with the English. 1804 में यशवंत राव होलकर made an attempt to form a coalition of Indian rulers to fight against English, but his attempt proved unsuccessful. The Marathas were defeated, reduced to British vassalage, and isolated from one another. राइट। पहले क्या हुआ, डिफीट ऑफ भोसले हुई 1803 में, ट्रीटी ऑफ देवगांव साइन करी गई, डिफीट ऑफ सिंधिया हुई फिर सेम ईयर में, आगे चल के कुछ दिन बाद ट्रीटी ऑफ सुरजी अजनगांव हुई, फिर डिफीट ऑफ होलकर हुई, ट्रीटी ऑफ राजपुर घाट हुई। राइट। Now, significance of Treaty of Bassein. Admittedly, the treaty was signed by Peshwa, who lacked political authority, but the gain made by the English was immense. The provision of keeping English troops permanently in Maratha territory, समझ रहे, was a great strategically was of great strategically benefit. The company already had troops in Mysore, Hyderabad, and Lucknow. In addition of Pune on the list meant the company's troops were now more evenly spread and could be rushed to any place without much delay in times of need. Though the Treaty of Bassein did not hand over India to the company on the platter, it was a major development in that direction. The company was now well placed to expand its area of influence. In the circumstances, the observation that the treaty gave the English the key to India may be exaggerated but appears understandable. So now, थर्ड एंग्लो मराठा वॉर से 1817 से 19 तक चला। बैकग्राउंड क्या था? लॉर्ड हेस्टिंग्स had the imperialistic design of imposing British paramountcy. By the Charter Act of 1830, the East India Company's monopoly on the trade in China, except tea, ended. ईस्ट इंडिया कंपनी ट्रेड इन मोनोपोली, ये आप कुछ चार्टर एक्ट्स वगैरह जब आप पढ़ेंगे ना, उसमें भी अलग से दिया हुआ है, आप पॉलिटी में पढ़ ही लेते हैं चार्टर एक्ट्स वगैरह क्या होते हैं, बट यहाँ पे भी आपको बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है चार्टर एक्ट पढ़ना, बहुत मेजर फैक्ट। चार्टर एक्ट, रेगुलेटिंग एक्ट जो सारे थे 1773 से शुरू हुए जो रेगुलेटिंग एक्ट, वहाँ से लेके एक्ट ऑफ इंडिपेंडेंस 1947 तक, सारे ही एक्ट एग्जाम पर्सपेक्टिव से बहुत ज़्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट है। राइट। अभी आप देखिए जो अभी सामने वो पढ़ लेते हैं, चार्टर एक्ट ऑफ 1813 क्या कहता है उसमें ना, मोनोपोली ईस्ट इंडिया, ये क्योंकि मैं ये इसलिए बता दे रहा हूँ, यूपीएससी का 2017 का क्वेश्चन है जहाँ तक, ठीक है, 17 या 19 का क्वेश्चन है आई गेस, और ये बहुत मेजर क्वेश्चन है कि ईस्ट इंडिया कंपनीज मोनोपोली ऑफ ट्रेड इन चाइना एक्सेप्ट टी एंडेड। ईस्ट इंडिया कंपनी की ट्रेड मोनोपोली ख़त्म हो चुकी थी, है ना, चाइना में ट्रेड करने की, लेकिन सिर्फ एक एक्सेप्शन था टी का। एंड हैंस द कंपनी नीडेड मोर मार्केट। द पिंडारीज मेड अप ऑफ फ्यू कास्ट एंड क्लासेस were attached to Maratha army as mercenaries. When the Maratha became weak, the Pindaris could not get regular employment. As a consequence, they started plundering neighboring territories, including those of the company. The English charged the Marathas with giving the shelter to the Pindaris. Pindaris leader like Amir Khan and Karim Khan surrendered, while Chittu Khan fled into the jungles. The Treaty of Bassein, described as the treaty with a cipher, the Peshwa wounded the feelings of other Maratha leaders. They saw the treaty as an absolute surrender of the independence. Lord Hastings' actions taken against the Pindaris were seen as transgression of the sovereignty of the Marathas. They served to once again unite the Maratha Confederacy. A repentant Bajirao II made a last bid in 1817 by rallying together the Maratha chief against English in course of the Third Anglo-Maratha War. Course of war क्या हुआ? The Peshwa attacked the British residencies at Pune. Appa Sahib of Nagpur attacked the residency in Nagpur. देखिए, पेशवा ने कहाँ अटैक किया? पुणे पे। अप्पा साहिब ने कहाँ अटैक किया? नागपुर पे। ठीक है। एंड द होलकर मेड अ प्रिपरेशन ऑफ वॉर, बट by then the Marathas had lost almost all those elements which are needed for the growth of power. The political, the administrative conditions of the Maratha state were confused and inefficient after the death of Jaswantrao Holkar. Tulsibai and the Holkar's favorite mistress came to a helm of affairs in Pune. Though a clever and intelligent woman, she could not administer the state properly because she was influenced by some unworthy men such as Balram Seth and Amir Khan. ठीक है। The Bhosle at Nagpur and the Scindia at Gwalior had also become weak. So the English, striking back vigorously, succeeded in not allowing the Peshwa to extend his authority again on the Maratha Confederacy. रिजल्ट क्या हुआ? द पेशवास वॉज डिफीटेड एट खिकरी, भोसले एट सित्तू। पेशवा कहाँ पे डिफीट हुए? खिरकी पे, भोसले एट सीताबुल्दी पे, होलकर एट महिदपुर पे। सम इंपॉर्टेंट ट्रीटीज जो साइन करी गई बाद में जाके, ट्रीटी ऑफ पूना पेशवा के साथ, ट्रीटी ऑफ ग्वालियर सिंधिया के साथ, ट्रीटी ऑफ मंदसौर होलकर के साथ। ठीक है, ऑफकोर्स ये पास है यहाँ के इनके रूलिंग स्टेट से। इन जनवरी 18 पेशवा फाइनली सरेंडर्ड and the Maratha Confederacy was dissolved. The Peshwaship was abolished. पेशवाशिप वॉज अबॉलिश्ड, ठीक है ना। अब ये याद रखेंगे, थर्ड एंग्लो मराठा वॉर में क्या हुआ, तो पेशवाशिप वॉज अबॉलिश्ड इन थर्ड एंग्लो मराठा वॉर, राइट। पेशवा बाजीराव बिकेम अ British retainer at Bithur near Kanpur. Pratap Singh, a lineal descendant of Shivaji, पूरा रहना चाहिए वैसे तो, छत्रपति शिवाजी महाराज, was made ruler of small principalities. Satara formed out of the Peshwa's dominion. Why the Marathas lost? There were several reasons for the Marathas' defeat by the English. The main reason were as follows. Incept leadership. The Maratha state were despotic in character. The personality and character of the head of the state had a great bearing on the affairs of the state. But unfortunately, the later Maratha leader Bajirao II, Daulat Rao Scindia, Jaswantrao Holkar were worthless and selfish leaders. They were no match for the English officials such as Elphinstone and John Malclo and Arthur Wellesley, who later led the English to conquer Napoleon. Okay. Defective nature of Maratha state. The cohesion of the people of the Maratha state was not organic but artificial and accidental and hence precarious. There was there was no effort right from the days of Shivaji for a well thought out organized communal improvement, spread of education and unification of the people. The rise of Maratha state was based on the religious national movement. This defect of the Maratha state became clearly when they had to contend with a European power organized on the best pattern of the West. Loose political setup. The Maratha Empire was loose confederation under the leadership of Chhatrapati and later the Peshwa. Powerful chiefs such as the Gaikwad, the Holkar, the Scindia, and the Bhosle carved out semi-independent kingdoms for themselves and paid lip service to the authority of Peshwa. Further, there existed irreconcilable hostilities between different units of the confederacies. The Maratha chief often took sides with one another. With one another. With sorry. The Maratha chief often took sides with one or the other. The lack of the cooperative spirit among the Maratha chiefs proved detrimental to the Maratha state. Inferior military system था, though full of personal prowess and valor, the Marathas were inferior to the English organization of the forces in the war weapon, in disciplined action, and effective leadership. The centrifugal tendencies of the divided command accounted for much of the Marathas' failure. The treachery in the ranks and was instrumental in weakening of the Maratha forces. The adoption of the modern techniques of warfare by the Marathas was inadequate. The Marathas neglected the paramount importance of artillery. Though the Pune government set up the artillery department, it hardly functioned effectively. Unstable economic policy. The Maratha leadership failed to evolve a stable economic policy to suit the changing needs of time. There were no industries or foreign trade opening, so the economy of the Maratha was not conducive to a stable political setup. सुपीरियर इंग्लिश डिप्लोमेसी एंड एस्पियोनाज. अभी आप समझिए, ये सारे आपको एक बार है ना, ये मेंस के क्वेश्चन बन सकता है ये सीधा, कि मराठा वाई मराठास लॉस्ट, ये सारे रीजन से मराठा के लॉस के, समझ रहे हैं आप, है ना। ये सब जो पढ़ रहे हैं ना, ये बेसिक ये सारे रीजन थे मेंस के हिसाब से, ये बात सारे इंपॉर्टेंट हैं. The English had better diplomatic skills at to win ally and isolate the enemy. The disunity among the Maratha chiefs simplified the task of English diplomatic superiority and enabled the English to take a quick offense against the target. Unlike Maratha ignorance and lack of information about the enemy, the English maintained a well-knit spy system to gather information of the potentialities, strength, and weaknesses of the military method for their foes, यानी कि जो enemies थे. Progressive English outlook. The English were rejuvenated by the force of Renaissance, emancipating them from the slacks of the church. They were devoting their energies to the scientific inventions, extensive ocean voyage, and acquisition of the colonies. Indians, on the other hand, were still steeped in medievalism, marked by the old dogmas and notions. The Maratha leaders paid very little attention to mundane matters of the state. Instances of the maintenance of the traditional social hierarchy based on the dominance of the priestly class made the union of the empire difficult. Now, In the end, it can be concluded that the English attacked a divided house which started crumbling after few pushes. Conquest of Sindh. अब सिंध पढ़ेंगे. Marathas तो यहाँ पे complete. In the early 19th century, the English started to show an interest in Sindh, where they enjoyed some trade facilities authorized by the Farmans of the Mughal Emperor in 1630. The Farman provided the English with such privileges in the ports of Sindh which they enjoyed elsewhere. Rise of Talporaz Amir. Talporaz Amir. In the 18th century, prior to the rule of Talpora Amir, Sindh was ruled by Kalora chief. In 1758, the English factory was built at Thata, owing to a parwana given by Kalora Prince Ghulam Shah. 1761 में Ghulam Shah, on the arrival of English resident in his court, not only ratified the earlier treaty but also excluded other Europeans from trading there. This advantage was enjoyed by the English up to 1775, when a not too friendly ruler Sarfaraz Khan made the English close their factory. In the 1700, a Baluch tribe called Talporaz, Baluch tribe थी, ठीक है, Talporaz, descended from the hills and settled there in the plains of the Sindh. They were excellent soldiers as well as adapted to hard life. They acquired great influence and soon upsurged the power in the new region. In 1783, the Talporaz, under the leadership of Mir Fateh Ali Khan, established complete hold over Sindh and sent the Kalora prince to exile. The then Durrani monarch confirmed the claims of Mir Fateh Khan and ordered the latter to share the country with his brother. Mir's brother, popularly known as Charyar, Mir's brothers were popularly known as Charyar. When Mir Fateh died in 1800, Charyar divided the kingdom among themselves, calling themselves the Amirs or Lords of Sindh. These Amirs extended their dominion on all sides. They conquered Amarkot from the Raja of Jodhpur, Karachi from the chief of Luz, and Shaikarpur and Gorakhpur from the Afghan. Of course, ठीक है, अभी आप देख लिया. Gradual ascendancy of over Sindh. A common belief in the late 18th century was that Napoleon was conspiring with Tipu Sultan to invade India. अब देखिए, पहले एक बिलीव ये था कि टीपू सुल्तान के साथ मिलके जो फ्रेंच से ज़्यादा कनेक्टेड थे, है ना, नेपोलियन को इंडिया में लाना चाह रहे थे. नेपोलियन वॉज कंस्पायरिंग विद टीपू सुल्तान टू इन्वेड इंडिया. 1799 में, behind Lord Wellesley's effort to revive commercial relation with Sindh, was the hidden aim to counteract the alliance of the French. Tipu Sultan and Shah Zaman, the Kabul monarch, negotiations were opened with Fateh Ali Khan, but under the influence of Tipu Sultan and the jealousy of the local traders aided by the anti-British party at Hyderabad, Hyderabad Singh, the Amir in October 1800 ordered the British agents to quit Sindh. Within 10 days, the British agent or Crow left Sindh and the company quietly suffered the insult. Treaty of Eternal Friendship. In June 1807, the alliance of Tilsit with Alexander I of Russia was joined by Napoleon Bonaparte. The alliance had, देखिए, कौन है alliance में? Alliance of Tilsit with Alexander I of Russia and Napoleon Bonaparte, या फिर Bonaparte. The alliance had as one of its condition as a combined invasion of India by the land route. Now, British wanted to create a barrier between Russia and the British. To achieve this, Lord Minto sent 3 delegations under leadership of various prominent persons to forge alliance. Accordingly, Metcalfe was sent to Lahore, Elphinstone was sent to Kabul, and Melko was sent to Tehran. Right. Sindh was visited by Nicholas Smith, who made the emirs to conclude a defensive arrangement. After negotiation, the emir agreed to the treaty, their first ever treaty with the English. After provisioning eternal friendship, both sides agreed to exclude the French from Sindh and to exchange agents to each other's court. The treaty was renewed in 1820 with the addition of the article excluding the Americans and resolving some border dispute on the side of Kutch after the final defeat of the Maratha Confederacy in 1818. Treaty of 1832. In 1832, William Bentinck sent Colonel Pottinger to Sindh to sign the treaty with the Amir. The provisions of the treaty were free passage through Sindh would be allowed to the English traders and travelers and the use of Indus for trading purpose. However, no warship would ply nor any material of war would be carried. No English merchants would settle down in Sindh, and passport would be needed for the travels for travelers. Tariff rate could be altered by the Amir if found high, and no military dues or tolls would be demanded. ये 3 important part थे treaty के. Okay. आगे भी हैं 4 और 5 भी हैं. The Amir would work with the Raja of Jodhpur to put down the robbers of Kutch. The old treaty were conferred and parties would not be jealous of each other. ठीक है. Lord Auckland and Sindh. Lord Auckland, who became the Governor General in 1836, Lord Auckland बने थे Governor in 1836 में, right? Looked at Sindh from the perspective of saving India from possible Russian invasion and wished to obtain a counteracting influence over the Afghans. Ranjit Singh in Punjab was strong enough to resist coercion in this regard, but the armies were not. Thus, English view was that they had to consolidate their position in the Sindh as necessary first step for their plans of Afghanistan. They got an opportunity when Ranjit Singh captured the frontier town of Sindh. Rojhan and Pottinger was then to Hyderabad to sign a new treaty with the Amir. The treaty offered protection to the Amir on the condition that the company troops would be kept at the capital at the Amir's expense, or alternatively, the English would be given suitable concessions in return. The Amir initially refused but later agreed, reluctant to sign the treaty in 1838 when the possibility of Ranjit Singh getting help from the others was pointed out to them. The treaty permitted the English to intervene in the disputes between Amirs and the Sikhs, as also to establish a presence of the British resident who could go anywhere he liked, escorted by English troops. The Sindh was turned into a British protectorate in 1838. Sindh was turned into a British protectorate in 1838. Tripartite Treaty of 1838. To address the Afghan problem, the British imagined it. The company resorted to further duplicate. Firstly, they persuaded Ranjit Singh to sign a tripartite treaty. Ranjit Singh ने साइन करी थी tripartite treaty. याद रखिएगा. Treaty in June 38, agreeing British mediation in his dispute with armies. British कर सकते हैं आके mediate. And then made Emperor Shah Shuja give up his sovereign rights on Sindh, provided the arrears of tribute were paid. Okay, Shah Shuja giving up his sovereign right to Sindh. The exact amount of the tribute was to be determined by the English, whose main objective was to obtain finance of the Afghan adventure and obtain so much of the Amir's territory as would secure a line of operation against Afghanistan through Sindh. Right. Okay. Sindh accepts subsidiary alliance in 1839. Okay. The company intended to persuade or compel the armies to pay the money and also to consent to the abrogation of that article in the Treaty of 1832, which prohibited the movement of English troops in Sindh by land or by river. Prohibited the English movement of English troops in the Sindh by land or by river. B.L. Grover writes, under threat of superior forces, the Amir accepted a treaty in February 1839 by which a British subsidiary forces had to be stationed at Sikarpur and Bukkar, and the armies of the Sindh were to pay 3 lakhs annually for the maintenance of the company's troops. Henceforth, the armies were debarred from having any negotiation with foreign state without the knowledge of the company. Further, they were to provide a storeroom at Karachi for the company's military supplies, beside abolishing all tolls on the Hindus and furnishing an auxiliary force for Afghan war if called upon to do so. ये बहुत सारी स्टोरी है जो आपको एक बेसिकली थोड़े थोड़े करके माइंड में रख लेनी है कि हाँ ओवरव्यू स्टोरी का हमें पता है, जहाँ जहाँ इंपॉर्टेंट होगा वो हम हाईलाइट करवा देंगे. राइट. So with this we have ended this part of this chapter. See you in the next part. Till then, stay connected.